This unprecedented situation calls for unprecedented action, and it calls for good faith and trust between everyone involved.
MPs are going to take a pay hike at the same time as they take more money from your pocket. That's right. If you haven't heard yet, in the middle of this pandemic, this health emergency that has become an economic crisis for so many Canadians, MPs are not only going to increase the carbon tax from $20 a ton to $30 a ton, that's right, a 50% increase in the carbon tax, they're going to take a pay hike at the same time. At a time when many Canadians, more than 1 million, have applied for EI in the last 2 weeks, some estimates say as many as 1.6 million have applied for EI or the emergency benefits since they were announced. Well, in the middle of all that, MPs are saying, you know what, we need a little bit more money. Not only from you in terms of what you pay for things through the carbon tax, but we need more cash in our jeans. And if you ask me, it all seems a little bit tone deaf. Now, this is happening because MPs long ago, back in the days of Paul Martin and his minority Liberal government, decided they didn't like the bad headlines that came from members of Parliament voting a raise for themselves. It always was unseemly. It never got good headlines. It always looked bad. So they passed one piece of legislation that said they'd get a raise every April 1st. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be great if we could just legislate ourselves a raise and never have to worry about it? The average MP salary right now is $178,000. They're going to go up to about $181,000, and the Prime Minister will be double that. So, should this be put on pause? I would think so. But when I put the question to the Prime Minister, he actually seemed surprised to find out that he was even getting a raise and said, well, maybe we'll talk about it now.
In regards to salaries, I haven't heard the Parliament of Canada having those discussions, but I'm sure they will reflect on it now that you've asked the question.
Look, in the grand scheme of things, this would not save us a ton of money putting this raise for members of Parliament on hold. But when you consider that, well, they already get car allowances and they get housing allowances and they get per diems when they're in Ottawa, they are well looked after. They are well paid. They do not need raises at this point. It would be symbolic, but it would be a nice symbolic gesture. At a time when Canadians are saying, I don't know where my next paycheck's coming from, this would go a long way to at least making it seem like MPs are on their side. Now, some are donating their raises to charity. John Broussard, Conservative MP, is one. Doug Shipley's another. Conservative leader Andrew Scheer says he's donating his salary increase to a local charity that's helping people with COVID-19. Those are all good steps, but what about just putting it on pause, like the carbon tax increase? You don't have to cancel them. You don't have to say no one's ever going to get a tax increase, no one's ever going to get a pay increase. Just now is not the time. Put it on pause. Cool your heels. And make sure that you tell Canadians, we understand what you're going through. This is a little bit of pain that we're going to feel. Actually, they're probably not even going to feel it, but it's a little bit of pain for them to feel, while many Canadians are feeling a lot of pain and worrying. I applaud the federal government for stepping up with this wage subsidy program that they're coming through with, but when you're offering 75% wage subsidy up to $58,000 a year per employee to companies, but then taking a big pay raise when you already make $360,000 a year like Justin Trudeau does, it simply seems tone deaf. It's time to put this on pause. It's time to stop pretending that you don't know what's happening, and it's time to show Canadians you are in this with them.